What's up YouTube? Capital G here, checking out a brand new Sylvan-ish support card that just got revealed coming out of Eternity Code. This is Beaming Prosperity. It's a normal spell card that is a hard once per turn. It says excavate a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of Beaming Prosperity in your graveyard plus 3. And if there are 3 types of cards among them, monster, spell, and trap, add one of them to your hand and send the rest to the graveyard. Otherwise, return them to the deck. Okay, so I'm just going to be brutally honest, and it's probably going to sound like I'm being hypercritical or overly negative about this card, but I'm just going to keep it 100. I think that this card is absolute garbage. It really feels like a card that was designed by somebody who knows of Sylvans but has never actually played it. Like maybe they just read the card a couple of times in Duel Links or something like that. But this card, I really just don't understand how you're supposed to successfully resolve this card, especially outside of the Sylvan archetype. And clearly this card was made in the spirit of Sylvans. I mean, just look at the artwork, look at the fact that it has excavate on the text of the card. If you look at it, you're probably just going to glance at it and you're going to see the potential of this card. And you're gonna be like, oh, Cap G, come on, this card isn't bad. I get to excavate the top 3 cards in my deck and I can potentially add one of them to my hand. Like, what's not to like? But then you'll probably realize, oh, wait a minute. So if I don't excavate a monster, spell, and trap card, not one of the 3, not 2 of the 3, all 3 of them, this card accomplishes absolutely nothing. I mean, you don't even get to excavate the cards. They go back into your deck. You don't get the 1-for-1 where you get to add one of them to your hand, and all you get is basically a -1. Like, you really haven't accomplished anything. And when I look at that, I'm thinking about decks that really benefit from excavation, right? I'm thinking about archetypes like Lightsworn and Sylvans. Those decks don't play trap cards, or historically they don't. Like, if you're playing Sylvans, what trap card are you running? Now, look, I don't claim to be like a Sylvan enthusiast or a connoisseur or anything like that. I just have my old knowledge from the Zexal era, but I don't really remember, the Sylvan archetype playing a bunch of trap cards in which they'd consistently be able to hit traps. The same could be said for an archetype like Lightsworn. You don't generally play a bunch of trap cards in those decks because they're just too damn slow. I mean, you could even make an argument, well, I can throw in some breakthrough skills, maybe some skill prisoners, something like that, but that would probably still not be enough to consistently resolve this card. And I've heard people say, well, come on, Cap, you can clearly run this in something like Time Thieves because they play monsters, they play spells, they play trap cards. Some of those cards can activate from the graveyard. They can definitely benefit from this, but then it just becomes a matter of the math. Like, what is the actual probability of you activating this card and hitting all 3? Like, I don't know what that number is because I don't know how many cards are in your deck, but I'm imagining that the number is fairly low. It seems like there'd be a much higher chance that you end up just getting a -1 off of this card. It really feels like the only way to guarantee that you hit all 3 is by stacking your deck. And what archetype stacks the deck? Sylvans, which we've already established can't play this card because they don't run traps. So I really don't understand where you're supposed to play this card. It would have been a fine card had they not included that stupid clause that makes it so you have to hit all 3 cards and makes it so that this card can only resolve under a very, very specific criteria. Honestly, I feel like that just kind of ruined this card, and I think it was completely unnecessary to put that in it, but I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think of Beaming Prosperity? I don't really think you're going to see much prosperity from this card. Maybe there'll be some crazy FTK or something like that somebody makes of this, but I feel like it's not going to actually support some of the archetypes that maybe Konami thought it was going to support. Anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.